Hi everybody, this is Shane from Greenstone Services. Today, just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of a couple of little things, believe it or not. One, net neutrality. Today's date, the 13th. One more day to call your legislators. Please do this. Links are down in the description or up in the description, either which way, whatever platform you're watching this on. So, why is it important? You want to keep the networks and the internet the way it is? Don't want Netflix having to stream and buffer instead of watching Comcast's greatest, latest, or maybe Spectrum's latest, greatest, or whoever you have? Well, this can all happen if you don't step up and do your part. Yeah, I know. All right, moving on. Now, Microsoft has been letting loose all kinds of articles lately. They have to do with scam and malware, and it also has to do with millennials, believe it or not, and elderly people. Seems like millennials are actually becoming the biggest target audience for scam calls. And it's not actual phone calls these days. You can consider a call whenever you have a pop-up comes up on your machine that says, hey, you need to do this, and you initiate the call. Now, there is a new thing that is happening. There's a new variant, I guess you would say, of that old trick. Way back when, what it would do is it would cause your machine to blue screen. And whenever it would blue screen, your machine would then restart and a virus would wipe out your BIOS completely. I mean, rewrite it completely, and then your machine was unusable because the motherboard then did not know who it was, what you had in it, and couldn't work. This is kind of like it, but it's dangerous in a completely other way. What it does is it'll make your machine get a blue screen, and it kind of looks like a old school blue screen. We'll have that right about there, so everybody can see it. And whenever it gets done doing that, then you end up with this fake Windows Defender Uber Security Pro version that wants to be activated. And the problem with this program is, one, Windows Defender. It's a name that's really not used anymore. Now it's Windows Essentials. So if you've got Windows Defender Essentials, Windows Defender Security Pro, anything that's like that, that's not coming directly from Microsoft, is a scam. Don't use it, uninstall it, get rid of it, run your virus scans afterward, run your favorite malware cleaner afterwards, and be done with it. Now, where does this guy come from? Well, silly people downloading things for free. This has been something tech people have been preaching for years. If it's free and you want it really bad, you should probably go pay for it. Unless it is something that is open source. Open source, not really the same thing. Perfect examples of this. I ran into it a couple times last week and this week. The first example was somebody really wanted to have Photoshop really bad. This person had found a download for an older version of Photoshop before Creative Cloud came about that would allow them to, quote, crack Photoshop so that they would be able to use it. Well, the file was a 3 gig behemoth, 1, which took him forever to download. 2, the actual install files were bupkis. They didn't do anything, and they certainly didn't extract Adobe Photoshop. What it did extract was roughly 700 to 2 meg worth of stuff, and the rest of it was just dumped. There wasn't anything else in that. Although you could look inside the zip file as it extracts itself, and it looks like everything's there. This is a tactic that is used. It's actually used against antiviruses. The guys that are like Peggy, they know this, and they're starting to use that to get around things. So, example number 1, downloaded Photoshop, old version, and got a crack for it, installed the crack. The crack was where the problem actually came from, because it installed that program that makes your machine look like a blue screen has happened and locks out pretty much all of your input options, so it makes you restart your machine. And then the other program kicks off and says, hey, we should probably scan your machine. I'm Windows Defender Security Pro Scanner Plus. I only cost $25. So use your PayPal account, and you can get me, and I'll take care of everything. And it will actually give you this long list of things that looks like it's wrong with your machine. This is another tactic that scammers use. In the past, they have took you to Device Manager and shown you event logs and said, oh, you see these red things and these yellow things? Oh, those are all bad. Those are all viruses. You really need to have me get in there for $500 and I will fix this for you. The only thing they do is clear the event log. Oh, look, all the viruses are gone. And if you're lucky, they don't lock you out of your computer when you're done. The reason why they want you to use PayPal is it tries to capture your login information, which is not cool, but $25 to them supposedly unlocks the program, and then the credentials get sent back to a server that they own. It really befuddles me that the team that wrote this, or the individual that wrote this, wasn't any smarter about it, because with PayPal you can dispute it, and then the money goes back. But it will also leave a very large trail for government organizations to follow. Not a very smart move. Second example I saw this was kind of the same thing, where somebody wanted a program and they installed it, and it came with one of those keygen type things, and it was packaged in with that. And it was mostly the same program. It looked like there was some random character generation that was after some of the files, but I mean, for the point that I'm making, the file names and the file structure and where it goes in the directory, exactly the same. So I'm guessing it's going to become more prevalent against like torrenting networks and things that you're not supposed to be doing, but as long as you're being a legitimate individual on the internet and being smart before you click, shouldn't be that big of a problem for you. If by chance anybody is curious about what I was just talking about, if you look up into the description or down into the description, either which way, there will be a link to that gentleman's article. And if you happen to have it, this will also help you defeat it. There's a simple trick of just typing in a URL into your run bar, and then this actually will make the program go away. Yay! We will probably have all kinds of updates coming out for Windows 10 and Windows 7 and Microsoft Office this week. If by chance you are of the experimental type, feel free to install these. If I were you guys though, I would wait until probably next week or the week after before you install them, just in case. Now, if you're one of my business clients, I will be installing these for you as the weeks go by, just to make sure that things don't explode or Excel spreadsheets don't start printing things out in China or some type of weird thing. I mean, it is Microsoft after all, sometimes these things happen. Beyond that though, I hope you guys found something informative in here. Gently tap that subscribe button and click that like, because believe it or not, it actually does do something. A comment in that area down below. Thank you so much for your time, and you guys have a great day.